So welcome everyone, welcome to yoga. A couple of things. First of all, because we're running a retreat, you'll notice that you're not on a webinar, but you're in a meeting, so you can all see each other. And that's one thing. And the other thing, it makes the load on the internet very heavy. So could you please all turn your cameras off and make sure you're muted? Thank you. Okay, so the way we've been going the past couple of months is we did quite a few standing poses and deep leg things. And then the last two classes, we've been looking at hips and knees and softening the shoulders before or after as a way of discovering that's how you go into the body. You don't necessarily have stiff hips and always work on your hips. You need to free your shoulders, you need to free the vertebrae. And so then the whole body starts to have a different tonality and a different availability. So, but today we're going to do some floor work and mobilize the upper back. And then we're going to look at back bending and probably finish at the end with some neck work. So that's the plan so far, which also means shoulders and arms to some degree need to be feeling alive so that you can come into the shoulder and neck world. So let's start on our backs. Okay, so you're lying on your back and you just lie on your back, don't get overlined. If you do tons of yoga, I recommend that you don't line yourself up in a mega cosmic kind of way, right? It will help you to connect with yourself. You're already in an idea. And you're already not listening, you're already looking at yourself. So just get on the floor, straighten your legs, widen them a bit, only if it's okay. Also a little bit wide. You don't always have But when you lie on the floor with your legs straight, let's just test this a little bit. When you lie with your legs straight, quand on est avec les jambes et les bras droits, you can feel the curvatures of your spine, right? The curves and counter curves. And you can feel the rich pull and tension between the curves. Very often we think that's wrong, so we don't do it, we bend our legs. So bend your legs, plant your feet, and you'll notice immediately the relationship and tensions between the curves eases up, right? Why? This is called semi-supine position. Semi because the legs are bent, and supine because you're facing the sky. And when you bend the legs, you release the pull on the lumbars, in particular because of the psoas and the flexors letting go. Yeah, I've just been told that the internet's wobbly, but many of you have been coming regularly and you know that. So if there's a crash, we have storms also, just hang in there. Normally we come back. A fully, properly filmed, high-level film of the class is uploaded usually this evening or the following evening, so you can always go back and have a look. Okay, so here you are. that releases the lower back, which releases you. Has your legs bent. Let's just let and feel if you le poids de les bras. You'll start to notice that there's something about the way you are holding your chest that starts to let go. Some of us are in a back bend, some of us are in flexion. And the secret to this is to let your elbows soften. Yeah, that's it. And just notice what that's like. So I'm playing with letting, I'm doing this in the middle of the room with my hand. I'm playing with letting the pattern of being either in extension or in flexion, in back bend or in front bend in my chest. I'm letting that go as my arms float in their weight above me. I'm kind of undoing my postural habit. This is very deep. The way we hold our chest to the world is probably the deepest thing that we do, almost more than the way we hold our head and face. The chest, the center of your sternum, is the place that tracks the movement and attitude of another person even more than the eyes, which is kind of extraordinary, but they put electrodes on people and they track that kind of thing. And drop your arms. Just notice the breath, notice the sense of weight. Letting yourself be near to yourself, letting yourself be in the river of sensation, not in the looking at, and the idea and the worry that you're doing something wrong or not good. Or just letting all of that go. Let the arms float up again. As they float up, let the legs wobble a little bit towards and away. Small movement. Les jambes comme ça. Les petites notes, just easy, soft, oily, towards each other and away. So we do this one. Yeah, and maybe a little more space. Is that okay? Yeah, like that. Just easy, let the head wobble a bit. Okay, and now I want you to notice as you go from the chest to your head, what's the feeling in the neck? Does the neck feel easy? Does it feel short? Does it feel long? Have you maybe gone into your yoga mode and over flattened your neck? Le cou. Oui. Est-ce que tu sens que le cou est un peu court, un peu plat, long, libre? So we're wobbling the legs a bit, we're wobbling the head. Let the jaw release, soften the tongue. And just noticing, still noticing this river of curve and counter curve, which we call the spine. The spine isn't a stick or a pole. It's not even a column. The spine is really a tensegrity spiral, which is part of the whole thoracic world. Shoulders, chest, head, tail, and drop the arms. Drop the arms. One more, then we'll come back to straight legs. The legs can become still again. The arms float up. Again, you're just letting the rib cage and the breastbone do something new by accident, not because you tell them to. Yeah. On essaie de sentir que quand je suis debout, je me mets un peu comme ça, ou un peu comme ça. Quand je suis horizontal, je fais monter les bras. Alors, je commence à voir une autre possibilité ici. Mais pas quelque chose que tu fais, mais quelque chose que tu découvres de ton Dieu. Good. And this time the arms drop across the chest. Across the chest. Across. So the weight of the arms and the coming together of the clavicles on the front, all of this is giving you new possibilities, new flavors. Yeah, don't be linear about it, and nothing special needs to happen. Yeah, it's actually the way to continue practicing over a lifetime in a million kinds of ways is not to try to go on a trip. If it's a trip for you every time, after about 4 or 5 times, you'll get bored because you get bored of being a tourist after a while. So no trip, just practice, just sensing. Let the arms float up again and change arms. Change arms. Yeah. So now the other arm is on top of the other arm. If you remember which one. It doesn't matter. Yeah, very heavy arms across the chest. Now let's wobble the head, and just as the arms rest into the rib cage, just open to the wonder of what the neck is. You know, this arching thing which supports a very heavy head. How on earth does it support it all day long? We think of muscles all around the head, but we never really think about the structures on the very front of the neck, deep to the neck, yeah, behind the river or pipes that travel down there. Yeah, so just feeling into this weight of arms, wobble of head, swallow from time to time. Just let the whole thing ease, ease, ease. And so I want to come back to you noticing whether it would be helpful to start with something under your head. I often find it very helpful. Here, lift your head. So you don't want to over flatten your head, but you don't want to be holding in the back of the neck. Yeah. It feels good. It looks good. Just wobble. Yeah. I'm going to try something very, very thin. And that little change of difference, you can put a book, you can put a barely folded towel. That little change of height makes you let go of all the structures that bridge the head and the neck. And now just let your arms unravel onto the floor quite wide, and just feel where you are with the breath. Okay, so now arms are wide, you've been listening in. We're just going to let the legs straighten, come back to where we started. You can be in a kind of a wide starfish, and just enjoy the pulls and the curves and the counter curves, the tension and release of the river of your spine. And it's much more of a river than a stick, much more. And it's a very intelligent river. In fact, there are, you could say, various rivers. It's a bit like the Ganges, you know, there's at least 3 rivers. The river of bones and discs and all that intelligent tissue, the ligamentous bed of the body. The river of organs, the whole tract of fermenting organs and the tract of breathing organs and the heart, from mouth to anus. And the river in particular of the muscles of the back, which are in 3 major layers, you know, the big sort of flat steaks just under your skin, those big wide muscles, then the long erecting muscles that go on either side of the spine, and then this whole river of little side-to-side muscles that look like a fern structure. So muscles, bones, and organs. And membranes. And lots of water. There could be more garlic in your water, or more whipped cream, or more beer, you know, depending on your culture, but it's fine. Okay. So get your arms almost to shoulder height, palms up. Not at shoulder height and not above shoulder height, because that'll irritate your shoulders. Just slightly below shoulder height, palms up. Les bras, on est presque prêt, non pas plus haut que les épaules. Voilà. Okay, open your palms because naturally allowed to relax, the palm curls into a passive flexion. So just open, just very easy. You're not stretching, you're opening like an anemone, like a flower. You open your palms. And now imagine every finger is not starting in your hand, but it's starting deep in your chest, where the vertebrae of your chest meet the vertebrae of your neck, let's say. So deep and high up in your chest come the rivers of your fingers. Almost you could imagine like out of your lungs or out of your heart or out of your neck. So each finger is a river. So we've got 10 rivers. So we have these long fingers which come from the lungs and the heart. Open your imagination to let it be like that. So there's no more bones and muscles and stuff. Just long living rivers. And now these rivers get so long and awake that your arms start to levitate off the ground, maybe 5 centimeters. And you will feel these kind of wiry pulls in your arms. This is a combination of ligamentous support and nerve pathway. And it's very, very, very wonderful to do this for the arms and for the thoracic cage and for the heart. And my hands are opening still without me stretching or forcing, but it's always an opening. So it's like something warm in the middle of your palm is waking up. The arms are off the floor, the palms are facing the sky, les bras se sont élevés du sol, les mains ouvertes. And now we let the arms float up like the two hands, the fingertips, go very slowly, don't bend the arms, just let them float. Keep them very open, not stiff, but straight. Yeah. So we're opening the rivers in the arms. Let's say that we are pulling on the nerves, stimulating. Yeah. Eventually, the fingertips, a few years the fingertips will touch. If the arms may not have, and when they have touched, don't rush to it your way. Then the arms go back down. Just allow the arm to be long and open, and we return. Nous retournons vers le sol avec les bras, all the way, all the way. And there is this moment, you don't really know when it is until you actually feel the back of your arm touching the ground. There is this tickly moment where you touch the ground and let go, even if one arm touches before the other. Each time an arm touches the ground, just let it go. Let it completely go into the floor. You'll be in a new place. The arm to shoulder to chest may now feel different on both sides. We did this 4 or 5 classes ago, so just enjoy, relax. Okay, now we're going to turn the arms so that the palms are down, completely flat. So you have to rotate the arm in the direction of your feet. Tourner les bras jusqu'à on voit que les mains touchent la terre. Long arms, open hands, breathing, long rivers of fingers. The hands come off the floor, the arms elevate. Don't let them uncurl. Keep the palm facing the floor. Keep the arms open at the wrist. And the arms are floating up. Floating, floating. It's a very different kind of movement. The arms may judder in the air. So just Voilà. Tu continues jusqu'à que les ongles touchent. Attends, mais beaucoup plus lent. Ça, voilà. Et après, tu montes, ouvre un peu les doigts. Voilà. Tu restes comme ça. Et tu continues à monter. Et tu continues à ouvrir, mais c'est pas c'est une ouvrir, comme des ailes d'un oiseau. And the fingers may touch. That looks great, everyone. You may hang out there for a moment. And take your time, and then you go back. So you don't want to rush to the end of the movement. You don't want to also end up floating forever, but there's a kind of floaty going. Take your time, going back down to the floor. Keep the fingers open, John. It will open your shoulders. Yeah. And just much more that way. Yeah, but easy. Yeah, it's got to come. Yeah, it's got to come from here, which is tricky for you. Yeah. I see your glasses like that. Yeah. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And you will have touched at some point. It will give you a bit more height. Yeah. Yeah. Keep going, keep going. Yeah. And then when you've landed, we'll do this once more. When you've landed and you've hung out for a bit, then you're going to decoil your arms, so your palms up, and then you're going to keep going round so that your palms are facing headwards. Go as far as you can. Yeah, you've got to involve the whole arm. And your thumbs are going down. You're going to have to lift the arms off the floor. Voilà. Yeah. Too much? You want to try? You didn't understand, right? So we're going to go this way. Okay. Yeah. So rotate. This is very powerful counter rotation because it's not normal, but it's wonderful for these nerves that you want to pull on. So long, use just the right amount of effort to stay. You can see me. So we were this way. Now we've gone all the way around. So your baby finger is skywards. Yeah. And then your arms float off the ground and your two little fingers go towards each other. Stay open. Open in the wrist, open in the fingers. Don't look at yourself. Just let your body do it. You need to open each finger river. Up you go. And the arms will very well judder if you give yourself time. The whole arm structure, all these long muscle pathways along these rivers are doing something quite uncommon. Yeah. Long, let the breath, let the weight of your chest, the weight of your heart. Don't think solid shapes that don't move. Let yourself move and breathe. The breath. So eventually the baby fingers will touch. Is that okay? The baby fingers will touch. And then you're traveling back down. Yeah. So they touch. Yeah. You could be more here, I think. Yeah. That's great. You see how it's vibrating? That's great. Not too much effort, but just enough. Yeah, just enough so they're alive and yeah. And eventually you've come back down. The minute your thumbs touch, just let go. Just let go, let the breath in and notice. Notice the shift, notice the movements. Yeah. So we don't do enough of this, and it's a pity because a lot of undiagnosed chest pain comes from sitting all day long in flexion, collapsed on your diaphragm and your heart, and unaware, you know, that the whole thing is stagnant and we're not ever making movements where the arm is moving the whole endothoracic world, tensegrity world. Yeah, or swinging as we walk, we start to lose all these very natural movements. Yeah, and it's a huge pity, huge pity. So take that in, notice the breath, notice the weight. Okay, so we're gonna, maybe you have a few more breaths, but when you're ready, we're gonna bend the legs. And yeah, so I'm over here with Joan, and the nicest way to bend the leg without pulling on the spine is to let the leg rotate out. Je vais faire une jambe à la fois. Do one leg at a time. The leg rotates out and you pull it up. Tu vois, ça te met moins en flexion, ça tire moins, and then you come back. Okay, so you do on that one. That's it. And then you're back up. That's good for you because you're very, so you come up softer. Okay, so the feet are landed, decide where you want to be. Arms on the floor, a little bit away from your chest. Okay, so put your attention in your tail and your feet. Attention, le poids dans la queue et les pieds. And we're going to let the feet get big from heel to toe. So this is in your imaginary world. But imagination and perception transpire together in the body that's doing and remembering and acting. Huge feet, feeling the ground, the weight. And then you're going to let the knees reach away and the knees start to go up and over the feet, and your tail and your pelvis start to come off the floor. So in yoga, this is called Setu Bandhasana. Wait, so you need to be a little bit that way. And that's good. You see, if you're turned out, yeah, that's better. And then so this is good, except that if you go like that, you clip onto your sacrum. So you need to be more heeled out, a little bit more, that's it. And then come up. But for this, we need to take this one. Yeah. So a huge reaching through the knees. A huge reaching through the knees. When you get to the top, come back down in reverse. It's like you're hanging from your tail and you come back down through the spine to the neck. Yeah. Yeah. So wait for me the next time we go. When you're on the next time when we go up. Great, big feet. Try not to turn out. You can see there's a few people in the class here where the leg has turned out. And if you do it in turnout, you're going to squeeze on your sacrum. So that's the effect. And it's better to have a little bit of freedom. So you too, if you're a little more like that, it's going to be weird. You see, a little more. Now we go up again. Huge, fly. Yeah, that's it. So now keep the knees from flying away from each other. That's good. You feel? Then you can travel up all the way through the spine. Keep going up. Keep going up. Keep going up. Keep going up. Yeah, keep going up. Way up through the legs. Way up through the legs. That's it. That's it. Plus tu fais comme ça, plus tu passes là. Plus tu fais le contraire, plus tu as la possibilité de allonger tout. Tu vois, comme ça. That's what you want. C'est mieux pour cette partie-là qui est un peu... Okay, long, 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 long. Come back down. Yeah, come back down and just rest in the length for a minute. Just rest. Yeah. Okay, let the arms float up. Straight up, heavy. rooting into the armpits and shoulder blades. When you're ready, open the rivers of the arms from fingers to heart, let's say. Just keep it open. Yeah, I mean, maybe your arms are going up, or maybe you're hanging from your fingertips, right? When we're not looking, we could be going up in gravity or going down. It's just when we watch each other on the ground, we always see one thing. But it isn't really like that. Okay, good. Leave the arms there, and then you travel with the legs again. For la même chose. Yeah, travel up, roll big feet, try to leave the whole foot on the floor, travel up. Now the arms are in a new place, so we're getting higher up on the spine, higher up on the spine, higher up. Can you come down? I think that your feet are too far away. I won't make you do anything until you're ready. And then heels out a bit more. Okay. Now. Better? Yeah, so you have more traction, and I think you'll feel safe with that.
It's easier.
Yeah. Can I take this away? Way up, and then return down hanging from your tail. And it doesn't need to be slow, it needs to be more like a flow or a sequence. Ça, c'est très bien. So, c'est comme tu penses de ton cœur. It's like you're hanging from the tail. Oui, c'est comme si tu penses ici et tu retournes au contraire. Yeah, all the way down and let the arms stay up. Open the rivers of the arms. We're going to go up again, but on a sound. So hear the sound before you move. Et tu montes. Yeah, yeah. Keep going up. Go up with your tail here when you're ready. No, wait, do it again with the sound first. Ready? Breathe. And go up. And then let yourself come down. One more time. Wait for the sound. And you take your spine up. And this time stay there. And when you want to come down, put your arms over your head first. Donc, tu vas rester. Continue. And then you're going to let your arms fall. So, if your shoulders are sensitive, widen the arms. Otherwise, you can be near your head. But if you have a tricky shoulder, yeah, you need to completely rest the arms. So keep widening until you can. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Is it comfortable? Otherwise, I'll give you some cushions. Yeah, and you know, this can change from day to day. Yeah. Yeah. What happened over here? You're waiting for some cushions? Here they come. These are not the same. Here. This is a great one. You should do this every day. You can feel it, right? Because it changes all the things we're doing have an impact very deep in the thoracic cage. It's not just shoulder, yeah. Yeah, and if you had like a screen on the roof, you could watch, you know, Game of Thrones. By the second season, I haven't watched it, so I don't know what I'm talking about. You know, by a later season, you would be completely king of yoga, yeah. But it's opening this, but it's doing it from the inside, yeah. Breath, the arms, okay. When we're ready, and the people with cushions, you may need to get rid of them at some point. We're going to go back up through the tail. Alors, attends. Les bras. Oui. Ça va? Okay, so arms, leave them where they are. Leave them where they are. Going up with the tail. Nous montons. Yeah. Yeah. You can get these out of the way. Yeah. if you want, John. So
That's fine.
yeah. Get it. Wait, keep going up. Don't let the knees widen too much. So the going of the knees and the tail is opening up the spine, but with the arms above the head, you are now at the highest level of your spine than you've ever been. So the first two ribs are being moved, which is key. Promising no, but yeah, that's it. Very high, lots of length. Lots of feet, lots of tail, crank. Yeah. And then come back down and try to just leave your upper body where it is. This will be surprising. Alors, quand tu descends, tu laisses tout ça, si tu peux. Quand tu redescends, tu laisses les bras, tu laisses toutes ces parties. Très, très calme. Yeah. Just leave it. You'll be surprised at how much you moved in the upper spine. Is that okay, John? Yeah, so feel. Very nice. The breath. Very nice. If it's too much, move your arms. If it's not too much, stay. So the coughing can be part of the way that we've moved the whole inner world. Yeah. So we're going to come back down when you're ready, guys. Come back down, that's it. And just let the arms show you that something new is happening. Yeah. Yeah, you can float for a bit and then prop. Yeah. Lots of length. One last time, we're going to go up with the tail, this time making a sound again. So first the sound. So we're moving the air through, we're vibrating, the tail goes up, the arms are above the head. This is very profound. So the top two ribs of the body, rib 1 and 2, and the last cervical vertebrae, number 7, they all get completely ganged up. From our flexion pattern, from our iPhone habit, from all that kind of stuff. So everyone has traffic jams there. And we're moving through a back bend into that upper rib world. Yeah, relax the jaw, soft in the back of the tongue. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, a little bit of a smile. A little bit of a not worrying or grinding or frowning. Big feet as we come back down through the tail, hanging, leaving the arms, letting all these new inner bridges and connections talk to each other, arm to lung, to heart, to ribs, to breastbone, easy, lots of support from the feet. Lots of awakeness and awareness in the tail. So very often when we move through nearness in gravity with our weight, when we're not looking and shaping, we become quite surprised by we become quite surprised sometimes by the sense of a shift of mood or a memory bubbling up. Because we can't move without the whole of us moving. Every movement is an embodied concert of everything. So all the parts of the triune brain work together. The reptilian brainstem is telling you all things about safety and digestion and tiredness and sleep. These deep animal knowings. Time of day, change of light, the deep, simple smell of the space you're in, digestion. Then we've got the limbic brain with these pools and puddles of personality hats that we wear and mood shifts. Yeah. And then we have the cortical brain with all the language and knowing, and should I turn left and right, and this and that. So they're all working together. And as we move, everything moves. Everything. That's what's so beautiful about a movement practice. The more we realize that, the more I sense, the more compassionate we can be, because we start to marvel at how different we all are. And what a concert it is that is moving in the waterbed, in the ocean of you, all this water. Okay, so little wobble of the head, soften the back of the tongue, as you bring the arms around to your sides. Now, if you're going on the floor, you may reach an impossibility, an impasse with the shoulders, in which case lift them up and rotate slowly. So you don't want to irritate the shoulder joint. Okay. C'est fait. Tu avais déjà fait. C'est bien. That's all the way down. Heavy. Wobble the head. And let's really go all the way to one side, all the way to the other side. Don't force, but swallow, and lots of olive oil. All the way to one side, all the way to the other side. Yeah. Wobbly, rocking, oily. Very good. So when we go to the left, we're going to go as far as we can, and just allow your tongue to soften and let it hang out of your mouth. On va laisser que la langue, quand on est d'un côté, on laisse que la langue tombe un peu de la bouche. Don't force it. Don't force it. It doesn't matter if it doesn't stick out. But that's the idea, that you're letting it go. And your tongue is an extension of the visceral spine, connected to the very back of the throat, and in indirect ways to the front of the spine via the base of the floor of your mouth. So by letting the tongue hang, it's as if we're letting the whole visceral river lengthen a little bit out through the tongue. Very intelligent, very big muscle. And let your eyes hang down on that side also. On a la tête, la langue et les yeux. But il ne faut pas forcer. Don't force, just let them, just open your imagination to things hanging on one side. And then we come back through the middle, maybe we rest and we do a bit of a wobble in the middle. Notice the breath and the weight and the sensations and the changes of mood and the bubbles of memory. And the head goes to the other side. And for a couple of breaths, we let the tongue and the eyes hang. And coming back. And have a couple of breaths in the middle. And then roll to one side, just an easy roll. And then come up to sit for a moment. So I can show you two things, and then it'll be easy for me to guide you through. Actually, I would stand up and walk around the room for a minute, just slowly, especially if there's blood pressure that needs to adjust. And go for a little walk. Arms swinging, legs swinging.
Yes, so pleasant.
So what?
So pleasant.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, a doodly, dawdly kind of walk. Let the arms swing, let feet. And we may look down, but we might also look up. Yeah. We may look through the eyes into the front, but we might also look through the back of our head. Yeah, let's just walk a little bit faster. Yeah, so you don't need to just look in and down. You could look out and up. Yes, up. That's it. And things may swing. That's very good. Very good. Okay, so two things, and then I'll talk you through. So as we dig away at back bends, just have a look. Okay, so the first thing, just look. The first thing is, so you're going to be on your back. We've done this before. You're going to be on your back, this, and you're going to use your foot and your hand to reach across. Okay, and then you're going to come back. And okay, and you're going to come back. So the foot makes the spine go, and the arm is like a ripple that follows. So the foot pushes the spine. Otherwise, it looks like this, which in the yoga, ancient yoga Sanskrit terms, this is called sea cucumber. And you don't want to do sea cucumber pose. It's more like a seahorse or some kind of, okay, so foot taking hands. That's the first thing. And then I'll talk you through it. So we'll do that for a bit, maybe for an hour or two. And then we'll work like this. So one side will be flat. One side will be bent. So you have this support from your living foot. The arm will go up and bend so that the hand is flat. I'll talk you through. So we're here. Okay, and then you're going to roll yourself onto the opposite side, like this. Okay, but we're not doing a sea cucumber again like that. Okay, so we actually leave the hand and the foot behind. So we start to do a very, very sophisticated and deep back bend. And for me, this is the best way to learn how to do the full back bend, Urdhva Dhanurasana it's called. This is the way into that. Okay, so that's what's happening. The foot and the hand, the elbow and the knee going away from each other, and the spine. And then eventually you can look behind your head. You know, have your phone nearby in case you have to call emergency. But otherwise,
112.
112 in Europe, yeah. So, okay, mais on va faire l'autre avant. So you're lying on your back, your legs are bent. We'll do it slowly first. Yeah, yeah. So the legs go and the arm follows. Voilà, ça c'était bien. Yeah, and you want to, that's it. And then come back, leave your feet, yeah, keep your feet bent. Let's do the same one again. So the legs go, and then the arm goes. And you can keep your feet almost ready to come back. That's it, and come back. The legs go, and the arm goes. Do both sides, and come back. That's it. And now accelerate the relate. That's it. So you really start to roll to the left and roll to the right. Don't worry about doing it right. More rolling through the ribs. That's it. That's it. Your feet take you into your hands. Rolling back. Your feet take, that was it here. That's it now. That's it, Carlos. That's it, everyone. Yeah. So roll through the feet. And then it's almost like you're throwing a ball. And throw. And throw. That's it. So you open, Carlos, right up to the sides of the body. Voilà, c'est comme si tu es en train de jeter une balle. And make a bit of a sound. That's it. Roll through. Roll through. That's it. That's it. That's it. You can bend the arm if you want to. Yeah. You kind of have to fake it to make it. It's quite nice. Yes, great. Okay, so then come back, resting on your back for a minute. Just have a moment just to connect with the breath. Okay. So, yeah. Don't look for anything special in this movement, especially if you've never done it before. You don't need to feel something extraordinary. So only one leg is bent, foot very aware, not too far from your bum. Let the arm, same side arm as the bent leg, float up. Bend at the elbow. Let the fingers tip back over as if the back of your hand is going to touch your head. And keep going until you put the palm, I'm doing it here on camera, till you put the palm flat on the ground. And it doesn't matter if the whole palm doesn't touch, it doesn't matter where the hand is, if it's very turned out, none of that matters. It doesn't even matter if you can't do the whole thing. You can always roll up something. See what I've got my hand high? You can always roll up a mat or a cushion and put it under the heel of your hand. So, okay. Then the foot and the hand reach down into the ground until it feels like you're pushing. The knee and the elbow reach away into the space until it feels like they're going away from each other. You feel that you're opening in the groin and in the armpit, and you're pouring your body onto the other side. So you're starting to be a long sausage of sausaginess on the other side, and a long bridginess on the elbow and knee going side. And keep going up. You can get your other arm out of the way. Of course, the spine will start to back bend. The hand on the foot are alive and making this movement very rich, reaching, and then your head can start to want to look under the arm if that works for you. The chest is opening. Yeah, that's it. I'm coming around. This is great. This is great, John, but you lost your knee. So you want to be here. You feel it differently. And this one wants to be here. So now this is what you're doing. You see, you're doing this. Yes, do you feel? And then turn your head like you want to look under your arm. No, straight down. That's it. And rest it back. That's it. Yeah, you see? This is very good. Is that comfortable? So that's very good on your back. Because you're starting, no, down. No. Just open. Open, stay there. Yeah, you're getting it, stay. Open. Now start to turn your head like you want to look under your arm. Yes, you feel it? That's the work. Foot and hand, foot and hand, foot and hand. On va venir. C'est comme ça. On fait comme ça. Ça va? Attends, tu restes là. Le pied travaille. La main travaille. Et c'est comme tu fais plus que tu fais comme ça, tu vois que tu tournes là. Relâche sur ce côté. That's it. That's it. Yes, tu feel? Ça, c'est très bien. Et tu poses très très bien la main et le pied. Voilà. It's beautiful. Really beautiful. Breath. And come back. Come back, and as you come back to the floor, hang out there and just notice. You can let go of everything. Just let things be on the floor. And just notice. Notice Notice the breath. So the body is often weak in the doing, because that's how we're built. It can't be caught up in the actual sensing of the doing all the time. We never get anything done. So the body is just not there anymore, and we're doing. We're serving that ace or chopping the carrots. But there are moments where the wave comes back, and we, as it were, receive our body. You feel this wave of life and sensation and surprise, and we learn things. We go, oh wow. So it's like that. And the richness of embodied life is always to find the and. So it's not flow over shape, it's flow and shape. It's stability and flow, adaptability. So this and is always surprising us when we realize, oh, they go together. They go together. It's fast and slow. Bones are moving very slow. Thoughts are moving very fast. All one body. Yeah. Okay, let's explore on the other side. Tourne. Alors, pour la main, tu mets comme ça. So the arm is up, and then you turn the back of your hand towards your face, and that tells you where to go. Yeah, so put your pelvis on the floor, Kailas. Yeah, so as you roll, it's like you're pouring everything on that side, and this is the bridge side. Yeah. So physiologically, that's a very profound movement, because the spine can actually do something different on that side from that side, but we don't imagine it that way. That's it. Now turn your head. Yeah, that's it. And use your foot. That's it. This is better. How's that? Use the foot. I'll go slowly on the shoulder, but it's this way. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, put it down. Yeah, and breathe. So you want to breathe into this movement. Yeah, right there. Beautiful. Breathe. 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 The rooting of the hand. Just notice that. Ça reste par terre. Ça c'est voilà, ça c'est lourd et ça ouvre. Voilà. C'est bien, c'était bien, c'était bien. And come back, and come back. Et tu vois que ça c'est très bien pour toi. Parce que tu peux maîtriser. Non, reste, ça c'était beaucoup. Tu peux maîtriser le plus un peu. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Yeah. Let's roll over and come onto our hands and knees. We'll take a pause face down. Yeah. How are you guys doing? Okay. It's quite deep, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's deeper than we realize. Yeah, because you're moving from the core to the periphery and back, which is different from making a muscular movement. So we're going to be on our hands and knees, curl your toes under. So we'll do the squirrel pose. Yeah, we're going to let the elbows go to the floor and then the forehead. Curl your toes under so you have a good connection. Lean into your bum. And just let the arms drop to the floor. Remember, if the shoulders are not happy, you can tuck one or both under your chest so that you're not in pain. Okay, we're going to turn the head to the left, so you're kind of lying on your right temple. Relax the jaw so that the neck is bending in more than one direction, side bending and back bending. Just rest on the top bit of your eyebrow there. Rest into your elbows. Let the weight of your heart's like a big soccer ball in there, let it hang. Let it hang, let it hang, let it hang. And come back to the middle. Oily, watery, wobbly, very deep. Don't have any ideas. And go to the other side. It's going to feel completely different. Let the head lean on the upper bit of your eyebrow. Let your tongue be heavy. Let your eyeballs be heavy. Let the whole spine hang through. If something lets go, you can lengthen a bit. Wonderful, come back. And we're just going to walk back into child pose. So from squirrel all the way back, the tail goes down. You can widen your legs if you want to make this soft. And just put one hand on top of the other and rest your forehead on your hands. I try to rest right where the bridge of my nose, the nasal bone, comes up towards the orbits, where the I forget the name, across the eyebrows. Yeah, so you want to be right there where the wobbliness of your nose meets the frontal bone. And you can rock your head gently from side to side. The nose is capable of little micro shifts. Just letting yourself wobble on the frontal bone. Very good. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So we're going to meditate now. If you want to meditate now with us, you're welcome to at home. And then just to let you know, but we'll email you. I'm off to Italy to teach a retreat with some of our team here. Hopefully we'll get through. So there's no yoga next week or the week after, I think. But we will email you to let you know. So of course, there's a whole year or 2 years of classes for you to go in and have a look. So have fun. Have a good rest of the week. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.